Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So how would you like to achieve your first million in sales? And today we're going to talk about how to grow your business and how you can get to that mark from 0 to 1 million faster. Today we have one expert joining us from United States, from Jason. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hey man, how are you? Thanks for having me on the show. My name is Jason Friedman. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And as I say, I'm a recovering theater nerd that learned how to use show business ideas and techniques and strategies to actually put those into businesses and help them grow and scale. And myself, I've grown over 10 businesses now. I've had success exits in 7 of them. One of them was a nine figures in revenue, and we exited that one. That was my big one, high 8 figures exit. And that allowed me to kind of retire, if you will, and start working with small businesses and entrepreneurs. Where's my passion? I want to help entrepreneurs have financial freedom. And so we teach strategies, techniques, and ways to help them remove the obstacles from their way, learn some of the things from the mistakes that we've made in our journey, and help them get from, wherever they are to wherever they want to go as quickly and painlessly as possible. So excited to be here and talk with you today, Harry.
That's fantastic, Jason. So tell us how you decide to become an entrepreneur. Why did you open your first business?
Oh my gosh, my first business, it's very funny. In New Jersey, in the Northeast, we get snow, right?
A lot.
That's on the ground. I know you're from Cuba, so you don't get a whole lot of snow there. But in New Jersey, we get a little bit of snow. And so as an 8-year-old, I went out and shoveled my parents' driveway, and they gave me $10. And I was like, what? Like, if I could go to everybody and get money for shoveling their driveway, I could make a bunch of money. So at 8, 9 years old, I started my first business. So I started going to door, shoveling snow when it snowed. And what I learned very quickly was that it's a whole lot of hard work. Like, it's heavy, and and it gets dark in the winter earlier than it does in the summer. So you only have so many hours where my mom would even let me be outside and it got dark.
So you have to be fast, right?
Or you have to get your friends to work with you, right? And so instead of me going faster, I worked smarter, not harder. I enlisted a bunch of friends and I offered them some money to help me. And all of a sudden, it turned into where I was the salesman going door to door selling it, and they were doing the shoveling. And all of a sudden, I had my first little business. Now, we didn't get to $1 million, but I started to learn how to create leverage.
Yeah.
Right? And I was, from like 8 to 12, like we did this. We started doing lawns in the summer. We did snow shoveling in the winter. And, we made some good money, and we were young, like little kids.
You can buy all the ice cream you want, everything you want,
all sorts of stuff, and my parents made me put a lot of it in the bank, and they were good stewards of teaching me how to, save my money and what have you. But it started there. And honestly, there's a freedom that you feel at any age. Like, my kids are entrepreneurial as well. I have a 14-year-old, I have a 17-year-old. My 17-year-old created his own comic book series, the art, whatever, and he sells those. And he sells them to comic book stores. And the first time he did one, he sold it out. So like, once you get that bug and you start to feel the freedom and the creativity and the opportunity, it's intoxicating. It's exciting.
Oh yeah, get addicted. Tell me about it.
So that's where it started for me. And then I had some jobs and did some other things, but I was always like, how do I make more? How do I give more? How do I earn more? What can I do? And that's just kind of how I've been wired.
Are your parents entrepreneurs?
I'm sorry?
Your parents are entrepreneurs? Do they have a business or they have jobs?
My father was entrepreneurial. So he himself didn't start his own businesses, but with an entrepreneur, he was like the integrator, and he had a visionary kind of partner with him. My grandfather, both of my grandfathers were entrepreneurs as well. One of them was an accountant, but he started his own accounting firm. The other had a series of different businesses. He had a dry cleaning business, he had a newsstand business, and what have you. So, but I don't know if the influence was them or if there's like a DNA thing. Like, I don't know. But to me, my parents didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, and I saw them struggle, and we lived for a while paycheck to paycheck for them.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that, and I didn't see a reason to have that. And good fortune, right? But I've never been that way my entire life.
But
So,
yeah, I have to
it's,
say that huge credit to your parents, right? Because
yeah,
they actually kind of support you in a
they
way
did,
that you were
100%.
doing your thing, right? Because I know, we interview hundreds and hundreds of people, entrepreneurs, multimillionaires with how they started the journey, and we hear some cases that when I have a friend, for example, that she beat the multi-million pound business and she lost everything, and the reason for
Yep.
that is because when she was a kid she started the first business. However, what happened is that when the parents find out, they got upset. They got
Yeah,
upset and they make a big deal out of it. They told the kid, you cannot do that, you cannot do business, you're too small, blah, blah, blah. Then they took out the money, they put it in the bank and said, you won't touch this money until you're 18. At the end of the day,
yeah,
it was not US, it was a different country. When the woman take the money was totally devaluated, was nothing there.
wow,
And so the whole, and then the parents went to the guy. Imagine that your dad, rather than support you, go and knock all the neighbors' door and say, "Are you crazy? Why are you doing paying this money to this kid? You should be ashamed." Can you imagine if your dad
wow,
make a big deal out of this? What
yeah,
I think your life could be completely different because as a kid, we have an impact. So big high five to your parents, that
yeah,
support you. That's why I'm asking you the question. Is they
yeah.
an entrepreneur or they have a way of being related with the entrepreneurs, so they knew that there was nothing wrong with what you were doing. That was
Well,
actually was good, right?
I'll say to you this. So yes. When I was very young, they were incredibly supportive. And my mother, to this day, my mother is the most supportive person. I'm super grateful. She's the most amazing person I've ever known, and I love her to death. My father was on and off supportive, right? And tried in his own way. But I would say, like, I got lucky for sure. For sure. I got lucky in that department.
Yeah.
When I remember when I was choosing to go to college, right? I wanted to go to school for theater. Like, I had been doing shows and backstage. I was a backstage guy. I built sets. I did lighting, all
Wow.
stuff, right? That's why you said, "Oh, your lighting looks awesome." Like, I can't help it. I'm programmed. I went
I
to school
can
to be
tell
a
that
theatrical-
about it.
yeah, I went to school to be a theatrical lighting designer. That's what I studied.
Oh,
And when I was looking at colleges, I had a bunch of scholarships. I did very well in school, and my father was like, "Wait, so you're going to go to school and like have shop class, like build stuff with wood and like cut stuff?" Because they had a scene shop there,
yeah.
and he was like, "I can't believe you're doing this." And he was not very supportive of that, and it drove me harder, actually. So, like, I would say to anybody that's out there that didn't have those parents and they're thinking like, "Wow, I've got that," like, screw that. Like, you have the ability to do whatever you want. Like, there's a great quote from Napoleon Hill, and I love Napoleon Hill. I'm a big fan. He's
Yeah,
one of
me
my mentors, right? But whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I live my life that way. And so for anybody that's maybe even that's listening to this, that's maybe like on the fence, or you have friends that say that's not a good idea, screw that.
or your parents or anyone.
For it. Like, if you've got the will and the vision, and then you got a commitment to it, like, that's amazing. And so I had the struggles with my dad at that point. And years later, like my business now, we use theater. Like I said, I use what you learn in show
Of course,
business.
tell me about it.
But we learned that, and I applied that to business, and that's where a lot of the success comes from. And that's what I teach entrepreneurs, how to use that model, those methodologies, and the fundamentals that get audiences standing up and applauding and talking about it and sharing. Like, you can do that in your business, like a system. And so we built that, and we can help people. But my father was like, "No, you're not going to do that." And I was like, "Yeah, I am. I'm going to do that."
And
And
it's amazing for business. Tell us about that. We organize events all over the world, and we have a huge team around us all the time, light technician, everything, and everybody tell me, Harry, why you have all these people? I said, you guys don't get it. It's all about the experience.
it is all about
No,
the experience,
it's not
right?
about just go and do an event. You think that everybody come to see Harry and to hear what Harry is gonna say, and you think that they're coming for that. They're not coming for that. They're coming because they have a great experience. So the
Yeah.
lighting, the music, the whole show that we put together every time that we do an event, they're coming to have fun. They're coming to have an amazing experience, and that's why they attend our workshops, right?
Right. And when you do that right, it's not just spectacle. It's not just the lights and the sound. It's that it helps them have a transformation. It supports the message and the learning. They
100%.
leave that event feeling, I can do this. This is amazing.
100%.
I learned. And then they go talk about it because it moved them in a way that they want to share, right? And I teach people how to do that in their business. They don't have to do an event. They can just be like doing their thing. Whatever you do, we can help you turn it into something that has people have this transformation. And when people are transformed, and we design it the right way, they want to tell other people. And so word of mouth is the most powerful way to grow your business.
100%.
Yeah, and when you get lots of words of mouth that are positive, that are amazing, then you can use that on the front end to use that as advertising, marketing, sharing, storytelling, helping people make decisions to want to work with you. And so I love that you're doing that. It's amazing. It's near and dear to my heart. Near and dear to my heart. So I'm glad that
Yeah, I got you 100%. We know what you described 100%. And also, Jason. So Jason, when you decided to open your first business, that you went for it for real, right? What made you think like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I have my experience as a kid, but now I'm gonna open my own company. Do you open it yourself? Do you find a partner with the industry? What made you think there was a gap in the market and you can actually make money event? And the most important, have the leverage, because you knew from the age of 8 that something that you didn't want in your life as an entrepreneur anymore, it was do something that you don't have leverage, because of what you need to do is hard work, and you knew that was hard. So Jason, tell us about when you decided to open your first business for real. I think you had the experience when you were a kid that you built that business. Something that you knew from the early age is that you want to have leverage. That you knew that if you start that business and you do all this job by yourself, it's gonna be hard. You have it very clear you don't want that anymore. But what was your first business? How you identified the market, and what made you think that you can actually make money?
So I have two first businesses, right? So
two at the same time? Wow.
Not at the same time, but I'll explain. So one that wasn't a real business. Business, but it made real money. So
yeah, Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, can you answer the question again, because the internet kind of froze?
Yeah, it froze. Okay, so I have two first businesses, right? So my first one, I was in college, so I went to Penn State University. And again, I was in the theater department, right? So I had a big scene shop where I could build stuff and all of that kind of stuff that I had available to me that most people didn't. In my dorm room, it was very narrow and very tall. And I hated that there was like no room. Like you walked in, there was like a closet, a little space, a desk, and your bed. And that was it. There was no room to like hang out or sit. And so I was like, what if my bed was up higher and I could have like a couch underneath it? That would be cool. And so I built this freestanding loft system that went in there, and I could have both beds were actually up high on basically freestanding legs, nothing in the middle. And then I was able to go downtown and get a little couch on one side. We got a little dresser with a TV on the other side. And we created this awesome like environment in my dorm room. And I built all this in the scene shop, right?
Wow.
The cool thing, like there's like scenic artists, people that can like paint stuff to make like garbage look real, right? So they took this wood that I had and they painted it. It looked amazing. Like it looked like it was like expensive wood, but it was scraps, right?
Wow.
And so I installed it in my dorm room and people started like walking by. We had the door open. They would see it. They'd be like, holy crap, where did you get that? I'm like, I know a guy. Do you want one? It's $1,200. And they're like, wow. I said, but that's basic. If you want like the fancy design painted on it, it's a couple $100 more. And like, dude, I started selling these like crazy. And so I got the people that were in the scenic department, like that were working in the theater department, like the students to work for me. And we started building lofts and we started installing them in dorms all over the place. And so I ended up putting up a flyer that had like my phone number, like, you know, on the little tear off things on the bottom in all the dorms. And I got thrown out of the dorms for running a business out of my dorm.
Wow.
Dude, it didn't matter. We had built tons of these and kept going and going. At the end of that year, I got a phone call from one of the first couple people that bought it from me. And they were like, what do I do with this thing? We have to move out. I said, for $250, we'll come take it out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have sold these. I should have rented these. And so what we did was we called everybody back because I had all their information and we offered to take them out for $250. I got a storage unit. I put them all in there. And then the next year I went out and I rented them for the same amount of money for the year that I had sold them for previously. And so we got most of them back. Some people wanted to keep them, but most people were like, yeah, that's great. We don't know what to do with it. We're not even going to live in the dorms next year. So you take it. We're going to go to an apartment. And so we made over $1 million.
Wow.
And that was the first business. And it was an accident, right? So this is what I want to say. I saw an opportunity for me. Like I did something that was a problem for me. And then people started to see it. And then I started to share what I was doing with other people that saw value in it, right? And so that's how you start a business.
Yeah.
Acting for me. The same thing with the snow shoveling. I had to go do this. It was a problem. And I saw an opportunity. And I said, maybe other people want this. And I started asking them, do you want this?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. My first business here in property was out of this as well. I was out of the solving the problem for myself first, right? I said I was working here in London in a pub, right? And they pay very, very little. And when I saw my bill, I'm saying, okay, if these people pay me $1,000 and I saw my bill, I said, electricity this amount, food this amount, transport this amount. And then I saw rent, and rent it was like 700, and I'm like, wow, if I don't solve this problem, I won't be able to survive here in London. And then my whole goal was to have my rent for free. So we rent property, and then we managed to rent the room separate, and then my rent was free. And then I thought just your same thought process. Oh, right. If I can get it for me, what can I get for other people? We end up selling 5 million in this business. So
it's amazing, right? It's amazing. And so you can apply this
by accident, exactly like you said, by accident. Most of the entrepreneurs, we have the gene inside us. Don't get me wrong. There are two things, yeah. One, somehow is building wild within you, right? When you were a kid, otherwise you won't start to. So there is something within you, right, that you want to live your life in a different way, and you want the best for your parent. But apart from that, when we are wired like that, as soon as we saw an opportunity, we take it, right?
Absolutely. And the thing that I want to say is, like, it doesn't have to be a problem that you solve for you. It has to be a problem that you solve for someone. Right. And so you can find opportunities by really observing humans. Right. And like, I love people watching. Like when I'm sitting outside eating a meal or having a cocktail or something, I'm watching other people. Like I see what other people do. I see where their challenges are. With the snow shoveling, it was like, what do these people want? They don't want to go outside and shovel their snow. They want a clean driveway. They need a clean driveway. Right. And so it was an easy sell to them. It's like, is the pain, how much are they willing to pay to remove the pain, right? And so what I learned also is that you can raise your prices too, based on certain things, right? And you know, you want to be fair, but like I was able to start charging way more than $10 for a driveway because we were able to get it done quickly, efficiently, and do a great job. And so I had a team of like 3 people out there. I charged $25 to clear their driveway. And then we set up like a membership subscription saying, hey, do you want us to just every time it snows, come and do your driveway? So I had to stop asking for it. We just knew what our route was, right? And so, but that all came accidentally in the beginning. Then I started doing it intentionally, and intentionally wins, right? And so now with anybody that has a business, I want you to think about that customer, right? My whole world, when you think about theater, everything's designed for the audience, right? It's how does the audience see it, perceive it, experience it? And for all of us, we have 2 audiences, really. We have maybe 3. We have our customers, we have our employees, and we have our partners, right? And so those are 3 audiences that we have to design our experience, our journey, our operations around for those people. And so if you really think intentionally about your customers, what do they really want? They can't even tell you. They don't know. They have pain, they have frustration, they have things. And so we have to really go deep into understanding them and observing them and seeing where their pain points are. Where are they getting stuck? Where do they have friction in their way that's not allowing them to get to the ultimate results they want? Sometimes it might be that they don't even know what's possible. Like people that are teaching mindset and vision, they're helping people see a bigger vision. People that are helping people achieve those visions are seeing something different. And so depending on where your customers are, going deep and understanding them and what their challenges are gives you this massive opportunity as an entrepreneur to create value for people. And that's the name of the game. And so while I've done this in lots of businesses, it's always the same thing. You know, it's like, I've got to identify who do I want to serve and what do they most want and what do they need? And once I understand that clearly and I can test it and make sure that that's true, you can scale. You can scale. And then you can find the ways to create leverage and make it more efficient and operational and so on and so forth. But it's exciting. And it's a model that just works every time when you go deep on understanding what those wants and needs are.
So Jason, tell us what everybody wants to hear. What are the 5 steps that every entrepreneur should be doing out there to achieve the first million?
Yeah, man. Like I said, get really clear on who you want to serve, right? And you know, you can do it from an opportunistic perspective. Like you can say, hey, look, there's an opportunity. I want to do that because I think it'll make money. But then there's a way to do it for people that you really care about, right? And if it's more important, if it hits your heart in a certain way, you're going to have better success because you're going to have more commitment to that. So I'd say first, identify who you most want to serve. And then the next step is to really understand what do they most want and what do they most need? Like I was saying before, like if you can get really clear on where those pain points are and what their challenges are, you can start to reverse engineer how to create a solution for them. And so that would be the step 3. Like it's like kind of understanding. So you understand who they are and how to serve them and what they most want and what they most need. Now, where are they? Like, where do they go and hang out? Like, if I think about the market, like in the old days, like if I was a farmer and I had hay and I wanted to sell my hay, I didn't go on the internet and say, hey, I have a hay. What I did was I found out where are people that want to buy hay. They're downtown at the market. So I would bring my hay to them. So the third step is find out where your customers are so you can go to them, hang out with them. Where are they? And get really clear on that. So that would be my third step. The fourth step is I would make a really compelling offer to them that shares stories, that the offer is not based on, here's my stuff, would you want to buy it? It's like when I was selling the dorms, it was like, how would you like to have a different environment in your dorm room that absolutely helps you learn better, helps you have a better college experience, gives you more space, so it's not like a prison cell? And they were like, holy crap. That's how I sold it. I didn't sell it by saying, hey, I can sell you all this wood and all this stuff for $1,200. I said, do you want to have a different experience in your dorm room? Like, what if you came in, you could hang out with your buddies, you could do homework sitting on the couch, watching some TV or whatever, instead of sitting in this little desk or laying in your bed? And they're like, yes, I want that. And so when you're going to then make your offer, it's like, what is that transformation? What does it look like for them on Pleasure Island versus Pain Island? Like they're there now on Pain Island. We want to get them to Pleasure Island, and your product, your service, your thing is the way to get there. And so when you start to craft that message, it's like, how do I create it in such a compelling way that it helps them and be able to share that? And then last but not least, serve the hell out of them. Do anything and everything that you can to make sure that they get the results that they wanted, that they were happy with that experience, because that creates viral word of mouth. That creates what I call raving recruiters. And not just raving fans who like say, wow, that's awesome. I want people that go out and grab other people and say, you have to go do this. It's amazing. I'm going to recruit you to come work with Jason. So you can create that experience for people. And so those are my 5 steps, man. I think if anybody does those 5 steps, you will absolutely have a really good shot of making it.
I agree 100%. And Jason, I think that people sometimes they get lost in the process. That's why you were talking before about referral, that the best way of grow your business is to have referral. Obviously, it doesn't cost you nothing, right? However, in order for you to get these referrals, you don't need to sell a product to your client. You have to sell an experience, right? And people get sometimes confused that, oh, I have this product, which is this ball, and I need to sell this ball. No, you need to sell the experience. What's going to happen with this ball? It's going to release the stress. You're going to play with it and so on. Is the experience what actually they buy it into, because this is the outcome, right?
100%. And the thing is, though, like, experience is not, it's not like something that you do. It's something that the customer has, right? It's a feeling, right? So the way I define experience is it's the perception that people have about their interactions with your brand. It's how they feel, right? And so experience is not something that you do. It's the sum of everything you do, right?
Exactly.
When you start
beautifully.
Yeah. And that's what we teach, right? This is what I teach people, how to do this systematically, time and time again. Systems create positive experiences. When you don't have a system, you can't create a consistent experience. And so we teach people to create their business by design, not by default. Create their experience by design, not by default. And it requires intention. And when you deeply understand those customers and what those needs are, it's easy to reverse engineer a journey that's going to get them there over and over. And one thing I want to argue with you, debate with you, is that, word of mouth doesn't cost anything. It actually costs a lot, because it takes time and attention to create that journey, right? It doesn't cost money that you're spending to Mark Zuckerberg for Facebook ads to get them there. But it costs putting focus and attention and obsessing over them getting results, right? And so most people have an ads budget or a customer acquisition budget or a funnel budget to bring people in, but almost nobody has a client success budget. And so what I help people do is flip the funnel. I want you to put more
very good
on the back, right? And that's we teach people, how do I put focus, attention, resource? Because we spend all of our money, our time, our energy bringing strangers in and offering strangers everything we possibly can to get them to say yes. But once they say yes, we don't do all the things to get them to that solid, amazing result. And that is the biggest tragedy for me. It's like we spend so much time here and so little time here that we're not delivering. And that's not a recipe for scale. That's not a recipe for happy customers. And so if anybody that's listening, put some attention on the people that said yes to you. Put more attention, and don't create this scenario where the strangers get more love from you than the people that are part of your universe. And it makes me so sad and so annoyed that people do that.
And if you see the biggest company in the world, everybody now, one of the biggest company in the world now, Amazon, right? Everybody goes there and they say, oh, I buy this stuff in Amazon, and Amazon is famous and this and that. But what people don't know is that the Amazon managed to survive the .com is because they focus on the customer, in the customer service, in the where everybody was putting the money somewhere else and acquiring more clients and putting a lot of energy and time. They were focusing in this experience that the customer have. Like, okay, they return the product faster. We don't care. We ship another one. How fast they can get the product? How can we add more services to them? Can we make a membership like Amazon Prime or whatever that we all have, so they can get the product even faster? So they were customer focus orientated 100%, and today look, they are one of the rich is the one of the most successful company in this planet, and that's what the whole model.
It's the first place you go when you want to buy something, right? That's amazing. And I love everything you just said. The key is they took we call these things, these obstacles, we call them friction points, right? And so part of what we do in our programs is we teach people how to find and eliminate or reduce friction. And so what Amazon did is they systematically took all the friction out of the system. So first, it's like I can go to the store and get it. Well, I can send it to you in 2 days, right? So you can get everything you buy from me in 2 days or less. Now you can get it same day for free too, right? They've like kept reducing that friction. Returns, like if I buy it online, what happens if it's not good? You send it back to us, no problem, no questions asked, bing, bang, boom. They found everything that was friction, that was in people's journey of buying, they got rid of it, or they reduced it as much as they could. And that's what we all have to do in our business. We have to find, how do we make it easy? Like I say to people all the time, we all, myself included, we make it hard for people to do business with us. We have to stop making it hard for people to do business with us. It has to be easy. It has to be fun. It has to be rewarding. And it has to get us to our ideal result. And when we get there, we'll rave about the experience. We'll return to buy more things. We'll actually start to rave and recruit people into the world. And that's what we need to do, right? So whatever.
I agree with you, Jason. Yeah, I agree with you. It does cost money, right? However, it costs very little compared with the reward that you have, right? Because Amazon, I get it. Amazon to remove all these friction points and to ship us the product fast. Whether in the .com everybody was putting money somewhere else, they put all the money, the last penny they have, everything in improving the process. But guess what happened? Now you want to buy something, and your friend comes and says, "Look, I need to buy something," and you will tell the buy in Amazon. And your friend will tell you, "What is that?" You will say, "Buy it there. It's amazing. They ship you fast. Don't worry about it. You will find." So now it's the clients have turned into fans. And it's now the clients telling other clients. So the customer acquisition process for Amazon is close to nothing, because it's the clients have become fan, and now it's the client recommending clients. And when you do the numbers, wow, man, that's the only reason that's so huge.
100%. Listen, Apple does it too. We can talk about tons of companies that do it right, but even Apple, they obsess over the packages.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's part of the experience.
Yeah, I agree with you.
People buy it because the whole thing is wonderful. They've really thought through every touch point. And in our business, if we put more of our money on that side, how do we make it wonderful so that there's these moments that are delight? And it's something that most people don't think about. We say you know what, we need more customers. I got to do advertising. I got to do billboards. I got to do more stuff here, more. The cost of every customer that we actually get, a lot of us lose them. We have people that have online training programs. The people that they sold them something, the person never opens the course. They never start. That's horrible. They have refund rates that are going higher up. They have coaching calls and events that people aren't showing up to. Why is that? Because they're not excited about it. There's not a great experience. There's a lot of friction. There's a lot of things standing in their way to get to that result. So for anybody out there, we say, get the F out. Get the friction out of the business. Find every opportunity to remove where something is hard, and you're going to start to see, you're going to start to win. You're going to start to win.
So tell us, Jason, if entrepreneurs are hearing now these podcasts and they feel that everything that we're talking today makes sense, can you share with us how they can find you guys, and how is the process that you do, and how can you help them out?
Absolutely, man. Thanks for asking. It's a pleasure to be able to work with entrepreneurs and small business owners and help them scale their business, and do it in a way that makes your employees happier, in a way that makes your customers happier, and it reminds you why you started your business in the first place. Because business can get hard and lonely and frustrating when you're having problems. But what if every customer that went through started to send you notes of thanks? notes of gratitude. Your customer service team started to get like positive, rewarding thoughts instead of like, this is broken, this doesn't work, I have this problem. It changes the culture of a business, and it creates this massive momentum that helps your customers buy more, refer more, helps your employees. You start attracting more of the right people. We have a system that helps you do that. And we call that the kinetic customer formula. And so if you're interested in this, you can go to our website at cxformula.com and check that out. We've got 3 different ways we do the program. You can look under programs. It'll give you all that information. But I also want to give you guys a gift. So as just a thank you for this, I have a PDF that you can't even get on my website. There's some cool PDFs on my website if you want to check them out. But I have one PDF that I reserve as a special gift for podcast listeners. And if you go to gift.cxformula.com, you can put in your email address and download it. And it's a tool. This PDF will take you less than 10 minutes to go through. It's a tool that asks you a big question. And when you start to think about this big question, even if you don't answer it in that moment, it will start to change how you look at your business. And so it's a gift that was given to me many years ago, and I'm sharing it and passing it on. And I promise you, it also gives you actionable steps. So if you invest like the 10 minutes, no cost, to like go through this and start thinking about it, I think it could actually change the way you run your business. And so I would love for you to do it. 2 requests. Number 1, if you actually download the PDF, actually open it up and take a look at it. Don't let it be one of those things that just sits on your hard drive. You're like, okay, I got it, I'll look at it later. Find 10 minutes and actually go through it. That's my first request. And my second request is, if you like it, or you hate it, or you don't even know what to think about it, send me an email back and tell me what you think, because feedback for all of us in business is super important. So I want to know what you think about this. And if you use it and it's helpful, which has been for like almost everybody that I've shared it with, I want to know how it's helped you, because it helps me help more people. My mission is to help create freedom for entrepreneurs, help entrepreneurs have that freedom that they most want. And so feedback and how I can help more, or what you need, is super valuable for me. So again, gift.cxformula.com and check out the PDF. I think it'll be really awesome for you.
Yeah, definitely, Jason, right? You already have several exes, so you don't need the money. So tell us why you do what you do. You should be on holiday, traveling the world, yeah?
I did that.
Having some caipirinhas in Cuba, in Havana, or go traveling. So why you still working? Why you still keep helping entrepreneurs?
Well, first of all, I can't get to Havana from the US like safely. But you know, when you start to think about what you want to do, who do you want to serve, how do you want to help, in my heart, it's entrepreneurs. Like, that's who I've always wanted to help and support. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in masterminds and coaching programs and whatever with entrepreneurs, and that's what lights me up. Helping someone that's an entrepreneur get their business that maybe it's stuck at $500,000 or $1 million. They can't get to that next level. Helping them and having them write back to me saying, dude, like, you changed my life, my family, blah, 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 my employees. Like, that's what motivates me. Like, that's what gets me up in the morning. That's why I love being on these podcasts. That's why I'm so passionate about what I do. And when I first made that big exit and got lots and lots of money, I did take a little bit of time off after I finished my period, and I was lost. And, you know, like, helping and serving fulfills me. And so anybody that works with us, they feel it. They know that we are going to serve them hard, that we are going to help them get results. We are 150% committed to the people that work with us, and they feel it, and they are committed too, because we are all about getting people results. We're all about changing the way people do business to make it more fun, more results oriented, and more customer focused. So that's our mission, man. And we just every day get up and just keep going at the mission. And we want as many people to join us on that journey as we possibly can, because when the entrepreneurs start working together and sharing the message and learning these tools and techniques, the world becomes a better place. Entrepreneurs can change the world. And I know you are, and I hope I am. And everyone that's listening to this as an entrepreneur, like, thank you for the work you do, because it's the thing that's going to help all of us in our journey. So I love entrepreneurs. I love small business owners. And the more I can help and support them, the happier I am.
And then, Jason, there's something very true, right? The We always want to make, oh, let's make 1 million, but the day that you make 1 million, you go on holiday, you stay 3 days on holiday, 1 week, and after you're like, what? That's that. It doesn't give you fulfillment. However, when you change someone's life, right? It will you will experience a level of fulfillment. Sometimes I'm in the metro, right? And the people call me, Harry, is that you? Yeah, I said, look, I listened to you in the conference in Dallas Brown. It was 1,300. When? I don't even remember. We do a lot of talks around the world. And
Yep.
the guy said, look, I hear what you say. This is my family. This is my children. You help me, these are build these businesses. I'm very happy for what you say. I took it on board. And let's take a picture. I take a picture and things like this. And after I'm walking home, and I'm thinking, that the level of fulfillment that this interaction, that somebody actually can recognize you and remember that that's something that you had done or tell them and make a huge difference in their life, and would be a huge contribution for the human being. Man, this is the level of fulfillment that this can give you. There is no money in the bank account that can equal that, in my opinion, right? We are
I
different,
agree.
right?
I agree.
Because you made that, you see the eyes how they shine, and it makes you so happy, make your day.
That's why you do the work, right? And that's why
Exactly, yeah.
when you download that PDF, it helps you. Send me an email back. Tell me that's what I want. I don't want your email address. I want to hear about how it's helping you, right? I told you I was in London last week and I did this workshop, right? We did that. We got paid a lot of money to do it, right? I flew over in first class. I had a nice experience. It was all that's great, right? But the thing that was the most impactful, two things. One, the hugs that every single person gave me as we were leaving, telling me how much it helped them, right?
That's fantastic.
They went out and they bought me a card, and they gave me this beautiful card. And there was we have fun in our workshops. We joke, we tease, but we learn and we get results. And everyone wrote a few sentences in this card telling me about how moved they were by the experience. And that, it filled me up so much. I warned them. I said, listen, when you start looking at your business the way I'm going to teach you, you might cry, because you're going to see spots where you're making it really hard. I know you want to help these customers, but look how you're stopping them from getting success. And almost everyone, with the exception of one person, cried during the workshop because they felt responsible in some way. And we don't do it so that people cry, but it's hard when you care so much about your customers. When you see, oh my gosh, you feel it, right? And so, I said that to them, and they said to me at the end, because I got teary and started, and they're like, we made you cry. And I was like, you did, with love. And I love you all. And I appreciate that, And so spending a bunch of days away from my family, I love being with my kids and my dogs and my family, and it's to leave them is a big deal for me, right? That's part of my why is my family, right? The freedom and being with my kids and having that flexibility. But then going and being able to have an experience with others, entrepreneurs, like you're saying, where you get that, you create that impact. The money, the income part is awesome. You got to make impact and income. But when you get to a certain level, you realize if you focus more on the impact, the income comes. And make the impact, do the work. And that's why, again, every day I get up, it doesn't matter how much money I have in the bank. I could care less about that. Sure, it makes life easier. It makes decisions easier. That's great. I love it. I want it. I'm not against money. But I would much rather have someone send me an email that my free PDF changed their life than get, $1,000 for that PDF.
That's the beauty of the work we do. So on that note, thank you so much, Jason. It's been an amazing conversation. And if you're listening, remember, we're gonna put the link for the PDF also in the description of this video. And you guys, everything that we can do in order to empower you to achieve, to get faster to the 0 to 1, we are here for you. So thank you so much, Jason, for your time, for your very amazing content that you share with us. Remember, everyone, to sum up, it's all about the experience and about to remove the friction points between your customer experience, and put attention to that, because in the long term it's going to reduce dramatically your cost of customer acquisition, because referral, when you have a great product and a great experience, referral come for sure. I know a lot of people, the law firms, that they tell me, Harry, all my clients come from referral, and I'm thinking, wow, guys, if all your clients come from referrals, you are creating a great experience for these clients, because otherwise they won't come by referral. So you're doing a great service, and you're removing all the friction points, because if this is your only source to bring clients, and it bringing you a lot of clients, you have amazing process, right? So this is a big lesson, Jason, that everybody should take on board. So thank you so much for joining us, and see you in our next episode, how brave entrepreneur break that wall and achieve the first million in sales. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.